Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. I'm SocietySucks and today I'm checking out How to Survive the Great Depression by Blue Jay. Now, the Great Depression was a long time ago, 1929 to 1939. I don't know much about the Great Depression itself, so let's see just how bad it was and if it's actually survivable. If it would be for us, you know, the people who live in very good times right now, with access to whatever we could wish for. Because let's not kid ourselves, we have it very easy compared to 70, 80 years ago. Actually, hell no, this is almost 100. Yeah, this is about 100 years ago almost.
Do you ever watch rich people pretend to have problems in The Great Gatsby and find yourself thinking, haha, I love the Roaring '20s? Well, you're stupid. Stupid spot on, that is. The 1920s was a period of great prosperity here in the good old US of A. We got jazz, vehicles, vehicular manslaughter. People spammed Fortnite emotes and buildings looked like Bioshock. The Roaring '20s was a dream for gamers like you. But of course, no game is complete without its microtransactions. And luckily for you, there's plenty of them in the new age of consumerism. People moved to cities, got fancy new jobs, and partied away their incomes faster than a chronic gambler can say just one more parlay. The Blue Jay, you ask.
Don't gamble.
How can I afford all these fun new things? One word, Alex. The stock market. To keep up with the cosmopolitan life, you need only turn to the infinite money printer that is OnlyFans. Excuse me. Stock trading.
I mean, he's
This
not
thing only
wrong.
goes up after all. Got paid by the boss man? Throw it in the stock market. Wife marching to her first vote? Hey, as long as it goes by Wall Street. This new Wonder Bread stuff sure is awesome. It'd go great with some peanut butter and stocks. Golly, these flappers' legs go all the way up. You know what else goes all the way up? Stocks. Okay, I'm running out of money now. Not to worry. Just take out a loan and buy more stocks. Using them as collateral, of course. Is that wise?
Is that
So
what
long
people
as they're always
did?
worth the same or more, which they will, because remember, the funny number line only goes up. That's
Yeah,
right,
until
Alex.
it goes
In this era
down
of opulence, your future will always
rapidly.
be as bright and prosperous as those radiant marble pillars. Well,
Yep.
that wasn't too bad. At least I'll have some money.
Oh no, it's gonna
At
get
least I'll have a
worse.
little money. I'm poor, aren't I? Yes.
You
But
have
don't get
no
too
more
down,
money.
champ, because today I'm going to teach you how to survive the Great Depression.
Never invest when something is very valuable. Invest when it's down. Because if you invest when it's high, you're probably gonna lose rather than gain.
Surviving the Great Depression will be no easy feat, for not only will you have to deal with a financial disaster, but you'll also have to adjust to the cultural norms of the time. Say, Alex, have you ever had an ancestor commit a Depression-era crime by being too much of a romantic stud? What? Well, one of my relatives did, a fact that I just discovered with today's sponsor, MyHeritage.
Oh.
MyHeritage Review. If you're trying to survive the Great Depression, keep in mind the greatness of the Depression will vary depending on the country you're in a way that's similar to selecting a video game
Yeah,
difficulty.
obviously.
I find that a good rule of thumb is that how much a country suffered is inversely proportional to the quality of their bagels. The Soviet Union, they're still trying to figure out bread. Terrible bagels,
Yeah.
Great Depression was easy mode. France, they're able to grasp the basic shape, but most of the time only get halfway there. Decent bagels, medium difficulty. United States, second highest Jewish population after he who shall not be named, got bagels so good they equate them with the world's smartest man. Incredible bagels, Great Depression hard mode. But of course, every
Ooh.
rule has its exceptions. As while Germany boasts the hidden Nightmare Depression difficulty due to additional challenges,
Yup.
the bagels seem to severely lacking as
A certain funny mustache man rose to power during these times.
there was nobody around to make them. Oh my, well, I'd choose the Soviet Union then, pussy.
No.
Excuse me? I said Uti. The land of Russia was a beacon on the horizon that not even the fear of communism could extinguish. For in 1931, over 100,000 Americans applied for positions in the Soviet Union to escape their plight. Of those, 10,000 were hired, swarmed Russian cities, and kicked off their new life as American immigrants. They opened American schools, organized sports teams, and even saw baseball become a national sport in 1932. That's right, by moving to the Soviet Union, life will be pretty good in 1931 to 1937.
Yeah.
For while you're thousands of miles from the Great Depression, you're now at ground zero for the Great Purge. And most of these
Exactly.
American immigrants will be swept up in mass arrests, working the gulags, or getting the Russian goodbye. Which,
Yep.
let's be honest, is still better than having to live
Also, the Soviets were at war. Because when are they not?
eating whatever this is. Okay, never mind, I pick France. Come on, why are you wasting my time, Alex? Excellent choice. After all, what better place to experience the depression than the world's biggest producer of it? Now, it's important to keep in mind that suffering is a matter of perspective. For some, unemployment rates of 25% and productivity dropping by half is called an economic disaster. But for an anthropology grad, that's just called Tuesday. However, statistics are just a generalization for a given population and don't apply equally to everybody. For example, many workers would lose their jobs and savings as their industry suffered and banks closed. But if you're black, your government might throw in syphilis for laughs as well. Naturally, men and women. For example, many workers would lose their jobs and savings as their industry suffered and banks closed. But if you're black, your government might throw in syphilis for laughs.
Tuskegee syphilis study? What the fuck? Isn't syphilis an STD?
As well. Naturally, men and women also experience different struggles in the big sad. For instance, if you're a lady, it'd be best to keep a level head through all the stress. We can't have you becoming hysterical now. Yeah, I walked in the house and she just couldn't stop freaking out. That's because you lost all our money in GameStop stocks!
Oh my god.
Sweetie, look at me, look at me. How dare you! Here comes the airplane.
Oh,
wow, she's way more calm. Yeah,
wait.
I just kind of stabbed a spoon in their eye until I feel things get a little squishy and then pull it out.
Fuck, lobotomy.
Lobotomy? Oh, what? You know, the medical procedure? Medical? But for now, Alec.
Yeah, a lobotomy is not really a medical procedure. You're basically just killing somebody. Kind of. You're severing a part of their brain, and they're kind of brain dead. They're like a zombie. Just not quite.
Let's say you find yourself as a poor, stupid, regular man. Feels right at home, huh? Hey. Well, unfortunately for you, money doesn't grow on trees.
It's too close to home.
Cola trees. And you're a soda company. Learn more in this video. Stop advertising. Never. But
I need to watch that one.
Economic disaster can stop Americans from coughing up their last penny for a bottle of Coke, kickstarting a soda company will be quite difficult when your only down payment is pocket lint. So we gotta find you a job. If you're looking for a depression-proof industry, all you need to do is ask yourself, what can I literally not live without? A question that all of us should pretty much have the same answer to. Jack Daniels, cigarettes, diapers, and Shirley Temple movies. But careers in such sectors often required skilled labor, higher education, or being an adorable 5-year-old child, all traits that, unfortunately, do not apply to you. Okay, maybe one. Aw, there's that smile. Here, take this. What? Quick, shoot the target. Now! Oh my god. What have I done? Well, normally that'd be a cardinal sin, Alex, but in 1930s Texas, that's what we call a hard day's work. Back in the 1920s, Texas saw a boom of bandits bamboozling big bucks from banks. So, to stem the bleed of stolen cash in the thieving pockets, the Texas Bankers Association established the Dead Bank Robber Reward Program. In an attempt to incentivize civilians to take matters into their own hands, the program rewarded individuals $5,000 for every bank robber they stopped. That's almost 95 grand today, or 379,883.04 gumballs. As you can imagine, with that much tasty taffy on the line, it was almost more profitable to loiter around and stop bank robbers than to actually do the robbing. Although the program's terms did have one catch. Got one of them bandits here for ya. So where's my money? Read the fine print, buddy.
Oh? Must be dead?
So, this is gonna be a little awkward. The program stipulated—
No fucking way! You had to kill them? I doubt people would care that much. It's money. Whatever, they're a thief, just kill them.
That the bandits must be pumped full of lead in order to earn the reward money. And the TBA really hammered home that killed part, specifying that they would not pay even a single penny for breathing ones. Naturally, when all you need for life-changing money is a dead body, smoking gun, and your pinky promise that they were a bank robber, perhaps you can start to see some flaws in this whole program. Okay, so that's $5,000 per robber. How many were there? I don't know, I lost count. What? Sweet Jesus. It was an insane heist, officer. Is that the staff? Yeah, they were all in on it. It was crazy.
Oh, yeah, of course. Everybody was in on it, so you pay me for every single one, of course.
This man is insane. He's reaching! The program was a disaster, resulting in the deaths of many innocents labeled as bank robbers for a quick—
And you see, this is exactly why we have police and why civilians don't take things into their own hands. Because there's a lot of problems with that. It can be easily exploited, as can clearly be seen with this example.
Quick buck. One time in Staten, 3 Mexican laborers were picked up by a sheriff who promised them work if they waited outside of a bank. As they stood there, a church suspiciously caught fire across the street. With the town distracted, the sheriff and his friend rushed to the bank and shot the workers, killing 2 of them in cold blood. However, the third ended up living to tell the tale, resulting in the 2 men's arrest and subsequent confession. Another time, 4 officers shot and killed 2 men at the back door of an Odessa bank despite them not having any bank robbing equipment or criminal records. A man had tricked them into showing—
Okay, you know what? Never mind. It's not surprising. The officers were doing shit too. Which is probably why you shouldn't have laws about if you kill a bank robber, he will give you money.
up at the spot of their killing, planning to split the $10,000 reward with the officers. To sum it up, you can really think of this program like the recent Game Awards show. Overall, a quirky and interesting time, but in the end, the pig ruins everything. I don't know if I
don't
feel
watch that
comfortable killing
crap.
people for money.
It's
I
just
understand,
nonsense.
Alex. I'm the same way. I too prefer—
Okay, I have to pause here. We're going off topic, but whatever, I don't care. Game Awards. Who the fuck cares about that? Why would anyone care about that? Just because a game gets an award doesn't mean you'll like it. And just because a game doesn't get an award doesn't mean you'll hate it. I just can't understand something as stupid and nonsensical as Game Awards. It's kind of the same as food critics. Just because they don't like it doesn't mean it's bad. You know? Whatever, let's move on.
Sport. But worry not, buddy. There are still options for a boring goody two-shoes like you. If job security is your concern, it doesn't get much more stable than working for the man. And in 1935, FDR took a gander at all this homeless malarkey and was like, oh my gosh, the traffic, and established the Works Progress Administration. A part of the New Deal, but not the first New Deal, the second New Deal, or the New Deal, the WPA was a government program that employed millions of uneducated men to build public infrastructure for about $50 a month, the equivalent of $1,200 today. While not a spectacular income, it is still $50 more than you had before, and you'd be doing good honest work, like building over 600,000 miles of road, 10,000 bridges, and even some iconic landmarks like the Griffith Observatory. Oh wow, well this does sound like a respectable job.
But you won't get paid fairly for it.
My local community would really appreciate the work. They sure will, especially your Japanese neighbors, who will get to admire all your hard work up close in the internment camps you build and staff for them. Oh, like a summer camp?
Oh
what? No, dude.
No.
Japanese internment camps? World War II? Where Japanese Americans were put into concentration camps? Who's your history teacher?
What? I've never heard of that. The Americans actually had concentration camps for the Japanese. I mean, I know the US did a lot of fucked up shit, but I didn't know about this. Were they killed? Like the Jews? Did the Americans commit their own kind of Holocaust? Because it's starting to look like it.
Ew! Oh. Well, you should know that. Then why do you teach me pointless shit like Texan bank robber bounties? I don't know, man, because it's fun and whimsical? Come on, stop tweaking in the street.
And because it's not something that the rest of the world will condemn you for.
Your place. What place? Excellent segue, Alex. Now that we've secured you an income of questionable morality, it's time to find you a place to live. Let's say you're looking for housing in the symbolic heart of the Depression, the Big Apple. Although these days it's more the Big Frown. Okay, so where can I find a good place to rent? That's the neat part. You don't. Riding the coattails of the market crash, mass evictions, foreclosures, and plummeting housing values swept the nation, forcing millions into homelessness. And for the home full, things weren't all sunshine and roses either. 30% of New York's house population lived in deteriorating and decrepit tenements and slums. While public housing won't be a thing till later in the Depression, housing by the public was luckily in full swing. So pack your sock monkeys.
Doesn't look much different from today.
You're moving into your local
house price is terrible. The thing you get for the money, terrible.
You want it to be, Alex. Hooverville homes are unique in that they only need
it's like nothing changed.
Ingredients. Rotten wood, soggy cardboard, and diphtheria. It may not look like much. Rotten wood, soggy cardboard, and diphtheria. It may not look like much,
no
but
idea
as
what that is.
Before, suffering is a matter of perspective, and with the right spirit, Gin? Now you've got a 2-bedroom. Named after the good-for-nothing president Herbert Hoover, Hoovervilles were makeshift
If you drink enough, you might have a triple bedroom actually.
shanty towns that popped up all around the country due to the skyrocketing homeless population. Ironically, many of the men forced into these hovels were laid off from construction jobs and were able to make some pretty stable accommodations. You know, for junk. So what, you're saying I should just stay plastered and enjoy my little shanty home? Fat chance! For all this talk about Great Depression, there was an ironic lack of depressants. That's because for the first 4 years of it, Prohibition was still in full swing,
Prohibition,
making the
of course.
importation or sale of alcohol
How could I
a
forget?
punishable offense. While this didn't completely eliminate
People
the
still
consumption
drank.
of booze, it did make it harder to obtain,
Just illegally.
propelling gangsters like Al Capone to riches as they built their empires bootlegging booze for battered bozos. So egregiously rich did these gangsters get that Al Capone even opened a free soup kitchen in the heart of Chi-Town. I mean, with all this cash, paying for a bit of charity practically costs nothing. Because it didn't. But even with a healthy supply of happy juice, your life in a Hooverville was still bound to be quite the pain in the ass. Literally too, depending on your toilet paper. Huh? Oh yeah, it was only in the 1930s that Northern Tissue started selling a new kind of toilet paper that was, quote, splinter-free. An excellent marketing strategy, even if other toilet paper didn't have splinters. Hey, wanna try some of our soda? Oh, sure. Or you could try some of our new rat semen-free soda. Wait, hold on now. Well, all in all, this semen-free. Hey, wanna try some of our soda? Oh, sure. Or
Excuse
you
me?
could try some of our new rat semen-free soda.
Did Pepsi, put that stuff in there?
Wait,
I might
hold on
reconsider
now.
drinking
Well,
Pepsi.
All in all, this shack isn't too bad. It's maybe not the most delightful of accommodations, but, well, I have a roof over my head, over my waist. Gee, Alex, if you're gonna dance around the subject this much, maybe you should enter your local dance marathon. Dance marathons took off in the Roaring 20s as a neat little competition to see who can make themselves look stupid the longest. I'm going on 8 years now. Why do I care about this? I thought I was looking for a place to live. Well, you see, Alex, this Great Depression wasn't actually the first. There had been one a few decades earlier that was retroactively named the Long Depression. But as we all know, it's not the size of the depression that matters, it's how you use it. And sure enough, there were plenty of manipulative opportunities for nefarious individuals to get ahead during these times. As the 1930s rolled around, these dance marathons were transformed into exploitative events, offering food and shelter to poor contestants for continuous dancing and the chance to win a large cash prize. What was once a bit of quirky fun turned into straight survival strategy, and these marathons went from lasting a few hours to a few thousand. The events became a sensation, becoming so popular that even movie theaters were opposed to them as they became such a strong business competitor. And I, for one, find it just tickling to imagine people skipping out on The Avengers to go watch Timothy hit the stanky leg for a carrot. As odd as this may seem,
I'd rather
keep in
watch
mind
that than The
laughing at
Avengers, to be
lengths
honest.
Poor people will go for a bit of oatmeal has been a time-tested crowd drawer for
Majority of
centuries.
movies these days
And
are
these poor
garbage, so
bastards
yeah.
had to do absolutely everything while in constant motion. I'm talking moving while you eat, sleeping on your feet,
I'd rather
shaving
watch
to the
people
beat,
torturing
screwing in the
themselves.
sheet. Everything from bathing to even marriage was done in full view of a live audience. And I mean everything. With only 15 minutes of rest allowed for each hour of the day,
Everything.
contestants mastered the art of dropping
Everything.
unconscious faster than meeting Bill Cosby. But sporadic sleep can only do so much for staving off psychosis. And after weeks and weeks of these conditions, you can start to imagine why these were the equivalent of Marvel movies for sadistic individuals. I wonder if Iron Man dies. Under the extreme conditions, these marathons began to take on a bit of a reality show facade. Companies would sponsor contestants, men were arrested for bigamy, and one wife even murdered her husband in a fit of jealousy.
What? Jealousy?
Do something! Disqualified! Good rhythm! Despite the atrocious conditions, you were still fed around 12 times a day, so many contestants would come out of these marathons having actually gained weight. The ones who
yeah,
didn't
12
die
times
from
a day, that's a
exhaustion,
lot.
that is. Meaning you'll be in perfect shape for the involuntary fast you now have to endure being broke and homeless again. I don't think I can do this. Then just end it all. No, not life as a whole, I mean living here. Maybe you're just not cut out
Well,
for
if you
city
can't
life.
live here,
What
then
about farm life?
probably gonna have
as
to
you'd
end it all.
suspect, being your own boss and not having to worry worry about a factory's bottom line did shield you from the layoffs that plagued the common man. With nothing but your acres of land, your trusty hoe by your side,
Yeah, if you
and
had
your
those
trusty hoe
acres
by
of
your
land.
side, all you needed for success of land, your trusty hoe by your side, and your trusty hoe by your side, all you needed for success was water,
He's got many
sunlight, and
hoes.
fertile soil. Too bad you're 0 for 3. During the Depression, the US government was actually quite environmentally friendly. American policy had never before been so aligned with conservationism, for in the 1930s, both Mother Nature and Lady Liberty were 100% devoted to fucking Americans over. Introducing the Dust Bowl. Much like the Super Bowl, the Dust Bowl was a period of about 10 years where a terrible drought around Kansas came along and sucked the life and joy out of everything. From Texas to Nebraska, dust storms swept the not-so-Great Plains, killing people, crops, and livestock as they painted the skies.
I didn't realize it was this bad.
Death. You see, in the years prior, Americans were caught up in the belief of manifest destiny, or the idea that American settlers had a divine moral
This is
obligation
punishment for
to
manifest
expand
destiny.
westward. Sure, much of these lands were occupied by native tribes, but I'm sure we can find room for them. Riding the high of civilization annihilation, these settlers decided to let it ride with their divine luck, believing in the superstition that the rain follows the plow, the theory that homesteading would cause permanent changes to an environment's climate, making it more humid. The idea was fueled by an abnormally wet period in the typically arid Great Plains, making it temporarily more suitable for agriculture, and leading these settlers to mistakenly believe their actions
and then it all came crashing down, eh?
Some rain. I wonder why it took so long. I don't know, but I did just kill this native family of 5 back there. Well shit, hand me a trench gun. But the rain did not follow these plows, as after a drought began in 1931, all of the overplowed farmland had its soil blown away with the wind, creating the severe dust storms that would come to define the era. Obviously, we're much...
You know what? For what happened to the natives, for what the Americans did, maybe this was deserved.
Smarter today. We know this could have all been easily avoided with one Costco
I mean, I don't feel any
lot.
sympathy
In a
for
life
them.
that was essentially Dune, but without the fun space drugs, your day-to-day challenges were practically defined by your new dust-filled environment. Bored of shoveling snow? Well, now you can mix it up. Giving a man a hand? Good luck finding it. Wife wanting dirty time?
You won't see
The
him.
sheets are ready, Romeo. The snow doesn't bring joy, just PTSD. You don't get a cough, you get dust pneumonia. And you don't have an outfit of the day, you have an outfit of the decade. Yet out here, the only ones to see your glow down is your livestock, and they're blind. But hey, look at the bright side. What?
There is
I'm
none.
looking. Now, to be fair, it is hard to get hit by an economic disaster when you never left one. While everyone else was hitting the Charleston without a care in the world, your 1920s were less roaring and more moaning, as the fall in food demand post-World War I had farmers in a severe crisis. So, while everyone else was getting knocked down, you were greeting them with the dusty floor. But despite all your life struggles, at the end of the day, you'll still have your family to go home to and give a big hug. And knock out with the static electricity. Holy, why would anyone want to live here?
Wow. Even if you just shook someone's hand, it could knock them out. Holy shit.
They didn't, of course. 2.5 million people would leave the Dust Bowl states in the 1930s in one of the biggest migrations in American history. Gosh, that poor old lady looks like she's been through a lot. She's 32. Jesus Christ. So whether living in the sticks or a musty pile of bricks,
that was
your Great
32?
Depression life is bound to be quite the challenge.
At least 50.
But life, my dear Alex, is like a pendulum. For while times are hard now, they will be prosperous again. All you have to do
will be hard
down,
again.
Find some shelter, and survive until the 1940s. Get drafted, and then survive the world's deadliest war. So, what do you think, Alex? Ready to face this depression head on? No,
Well, okay. Let's not lie here. World War II was not the deadliest for Americans. I mean, it probably was, but I checked the casualties. The US lost like, what, 400,000 people? That's nothing compared to everybody else, okay? The US didn't suffer that much during World War II, and they profited heavily from it. Because now they've become the world's policeman. And they do pretty much whatever the hell they want, and nobody can stop them. And when they do crime, no one can punish them for it.
I give up. What? You win. Do whatever you want to me. I can't take this anymore. No, you're supposed to
I mean, there's always the gun.
That's your thing. Wait, come back! It wasn't all bad! Putt-Putt blew up, we got Social Security, life expectancy increased due to lower air pollution and traffic! Alex? Well, hopefully he doesn't forget about the 14-day free trial for MyHeritage, which you can get now using my link in the description. Great Depression, 1 out of 10 stars.
Ah yes, the Great Depression. Not a good time for Americans, but perhaps it was a way to punish them for Manifest Destiny and what they did to the natives. Perhaps. And with the way things are going and where they are heading, perhaps there will be another Great Depression soon. Because the world's going to shit, as usual. So anyway, hope you enjoyed. If you did, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. If you want to see more reactions like this, check out this video right here. And with that, I hope I'll see you in the next video.